Hi there, Jimmy Tig here with Phoenix Home Inspections. I wanted to do kind of a little small series for all of you first-time home buyers and new realtors when it comes to tips about getting home inspections or about home inspections. So first thing I'm going to do is talk about scheduling. So what you should know is once your offer has been accepted, you've only got like 10-15 days to actually get your home inspection scheduled. So it's kind of one of those, once you've had your offer accepted, you should have scheduled it yesterday, so you need to get on the ball, because home inspectors are kind of like doctors. When you call to make an appointment, they're like, hey, these are the times that we have available and the days that have available. What you don't realize is, and a lot of people, and I didn't realize this until I got into the business, is I think with my board of realtors I'm an affiliate member with, there's like 400 and some realtors, and there's only like 8 home inspection companies. So we're in high demand. A lot of times we're going to be booked out 2 weeks. That's busy season. Like right now, I'm usually, what you got to know is homes typically will go on the market on Saturday. The phone calls start coming on Monday. So come Monday morning, you got to be making that phone call first thing in the morning if you want to have your home inspection that week, because if you wait until later in that week, you're going to be looking at the following week. Now, in busy season, which is spring, early summer, and then around, I think November is the other second wave, what you're going to be looking at is probably 2 weeks. So you've got to get on there and get your home inspection. Now, if you're not from that area, your realtors typically will give you 3 to 5 referrals, or give you 5 referrals that you can contact to have those. Now, do your research on those. Look up their backgrounds, their reviews, ask people who they use. But don't be set on one inspector, because they may be booked out for 2 weeks, especially if they're in high demand. There's a lot of times I'll be booked out 2.5 weeks, but that's not always the case. If, another tip, like mine, I will do scheduling online. Get online and schedule that inspection. It'll be quicker and faster. A lot of us don't have brick and mortar stores. So when you call, it actually is routed to our phone. So like you'll call my cell phone. If I'm out in a area that has poor phone service, I may not be able to get you booked, where somebody might have went online and booked an appointment that you could have took. So if the home inspector does have a site to be able to book, get on there and book it. Or if anything, make sure you leave a voice message, because a lot of times if I'm busy, I can guarantee a lot of my top competitors are busy as well. So with that being said, let's say you get in that busy season and you called right away and everybody's booked up. Here's a tip that a lot of people don't know. You can ask for an extension. So the main thing is, call 4 or 5 companies, write down who you called, call your realtor, be like, hey, I tried so-and-so and this company, and nobody can get me in. Can I get an extension? A lot of times you can't. The other thing is say you're dead set on using a specific inspector company, and they can't get to you until after the deadlines, especially if the house is buying as is. You know what, go ahead and book it if you can. Just let your realtor know and see if you can't get, I hate to say it, an extension where it's like, I know the inspection doesn't matter, my guy can't get in, or my inspector cannot get in until this date. A lot of times they're still going to let you have that done. So the main thing is make sure you schedule that right away. The other thing that a lot of people don't know is you don't have to be there. Now, that's what I'm getting at is, let's say Friday is the only day that you could be there and you're asking your inspectors, I need this Friday. Well, a lot of times, like I said, we could be booked out 2 weeks in advance. You're not going to get an inspector to be able to schedule that time. Most inspections take about 4 hours. We block them out in 4-hour intervals. So if you could make it at the end, hey, perfect. A lot of times, even including myself, I will call you and let you know the main points of what I found. So, you should feel comfortable or safe enough to know that you don't have to be there. But, it's always good to be there to be able to see things, because honestly, it saves us some phone calls. Being able to point it out and explain, especially if you have questions. But honestly, you do not have to be there at that inspection. The important thing is getting that inspection and getting that report. Getting the report is another thing to talk about. If you get it scheduled, a lot of inspectors do things different. I by chance, I actually will do the inspection that evening. I will send you the report. A lot of inspectors may only do like 2 or 3 inspections one day. The next day they block it out. That's for the report writing and getting it sent out, answering phone calls, doing follow-ups, stuff like that. So that would be the next question, maybe, is once you get it booked, is how soon do I get my report? There are some inspectors out there that use a more simplified report that's not as detailed, in my opinion, is not as detailed. And really what they do is once they do, they hit submit and boom, it's in your email. So with that being stated, with those 4-hour time blocks, another thing that some people don't understand is people call me up and I'm like, okay, I've got a 9 and a 1 o'clock. Typically I do 4 hours, 9, 1, or 2, depending on how far apart they are, because I'm giving myself 4 hours to do the inspection, drive to the next one, and I actually have lunch in between those two. So sometimes I'll give myself a little bit of buffer. People are like, nah, you know what, I'd rather you come out at 3, come out at 4. Let's do an early one. 11 o'clock in the afternoon, or 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I want that. What you're doing is you're asking that inspector to take a pay cut and not be able to do 2 inspections that day. They're not going to do it. They're going to tell you no, unless they just happen to have that whole day wide open. It's not scheduled. They want to have an early day off. They may go ahead and do it. Now, if you ask for that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you know what that means? We're not getting done until 7, 8 o'clock at night. If that house is occupied, whoever lives there, you're asking them not to come home until 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's probably not going to be done. So just be advised that a lot of times your inspections, unless the house is vacant, of course, you're looking at 9 o'clock or 1 or 2. Now, if homes are vacant, I will actually start them at early as 8 a.m., which I prefer. But just a little bit of information. So if you've put an offer on a house, first thing you need to do is get on the ball right now. Don't wait. I've got phone calls many times. I need an inspection. Okay, it's Wednesday. When do you need it done by? Friday. That's not going to happen in most circumstances, unless by chance one of us would have a cancellation. You do have that in your favor, that we may actually get a cancellation. So, and you can always ask an inspector, can you keep my information in case you get cancellation? Call me. But go ahead and try to get that scheduled. Now, I've had some people call me and schedule inspections where, like, I've got an offer in. I should know if it's going to be accepted. Can I go ahead and schedule it? A lot of times, depending on how far out it is or how far booked out I am, I'll go ahead and do it if it's like for the following week. But what you got to understand is a lot of home inspectors are different. They may require you to pay 50% of that fee, non-refundable. So if you schedule that, you may be paying 50% up front. And if there's multiple bids or multiple offers on that house and yours isn't accepted, you're going to be out of that money. So just some information for you to think about. But the biggest point I'm trying to make here is, if you've put an offer on a house, it's been accepted, the very next thing you need to do as soon as you get off that phone call being told that is get on that phone, start calling home inspectors, leaving messages if you're trying to get quotes. I'm just going to throw this out there. We're all pretty much about the same price. If you're price shopping and you're trying to look for that big price difference, be careful, because sometimes you get what you pay for. Like I said, most of us are all within probably $25, $50 from each other. So, but anyway, till next time, I'll do some more tips for you. Let me go on with the scheduling. Here's the other thing. When you schedule with a home inspector, find out if they're a member of the Board of Realtors, because here's what you got to understand. When you call, you give me the address, square footage, I give you the price, the date, the time. I'll ask you for your realtor. Once I have that, if we're members of the board of, or member of the Board of Realtors, what that does is that gives us the access to the apps that all the other realtors have. So once you schedule that, I get on an app, I put in a request, I get the card key access, the code access, whatever it is, I have complete access just like any other realtor. So you don't have to do the running and making the multiple phone calls. When you call me and I schedule the inspection, it's done. You know, you don't have anything to worry about. You might call your realtor and say, hey, I called, Phoenix. He's got it scheduled. He's doing it this date and this time. That's all you need to do. But a lot of times, if I'm not too slammed, I will go ahead and contact your realtor and be like, hey, I've got so-and-so scheduled at this time, because a lot of times realtors want to show up just to hear the findings as well. But until next time, I'll catch you later. This is Jimmy with Phoenix Home Inspections. Catch you later. Bye.